Hello. Are you having some trouble adjusting to all the changes in your life? Did you know you're not the only one going through them? There's a lot of people right now that are having their worlds shaken up and spit out in a form that is not recognizable. And when your life changes, your world turns upside down, you don't know what to do. You know? Now, do I know what I'm talking about? Yeah, unfortunately, I do. 2012 had two surgeries to remove a pituitary macroadenoma. So, not only did I lose my career because it wasn't the greatest result, but I also ended up with none of my own hormones, including my own stress hormone. So now it might have taken this big of an incident before to shake me up, and now it takes this big of an incident. So I do know something about adjustment because suddenly I didn't have a job to go back to because I wasn't capable of it anymore. And suddenly I had no money. And suddenly I recognized I didn't want to toddle along through life anymore because I didn't know who I was when I didn't have the capability of making money anymore. I had built my entire worth in my mind on being able to make money because then I could buy my family things. I could give them a good life. It wasn't healthy though, because in my mind, they weren't going to love me unless I bought them things and did nice things. So if you are having trouble adjusting because your whole life has turned upside down, it could very well be a spiritual awakening because you are supposed to be, what's that expression? Knocked off your pins? I think that might be it. We have these spiritual awakenings to show us that the way we were living was not the best way to live for us. Usually we are catering to the needs of everyone else and not ourselves. Usually we think that we are defective and have to somehow make up for that, or no one will love us. And then all this changes. We have to decide if we're willing to fight to stay. I don't have to go further than that. I think you get my drift. And it was a big fight for me at one time. Because, like I said, I didn't know who I was anymore. And I suppose, even though I didn't realize I had been trying to buy my family's love, I must have had some fear in the back of my mind that said, oh man, they're not going to love you anymore. So why am I making this? Because a lot of people are going through the same kind of thing. They don't understand why it's happening. So the first thing I can help with is to tell you, because there are things in your life that you were allowing that weren't good for you. That's the why. So you can see the things you need to heal and then have a chance to be really happy. Not fake happy because you're making everyone else happy. It was not an easy adjustment for me. I had to literally work at it. Because the first thing I had to do was learn how to love myself. And when I tell you that is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, please believe me. You wouldn't think something like that would be that hard, but it was. And if you have any interest, I can tell you how I managed it. But it was work. It was work. And it's something I never would have taken on unless I was so desperate that I didn't know what else to do. Don't let yourself get that desperate. When you learn how to love yourself, then suddenly you're going to see you have value you never knew was there. Now, see, the whole thing is that's so ironic. Everyone else saw it and played it to their advantage and kept you in the dark because that would have screwed things up for them. What I had to do was to learn how to adjust to a new normal. Because we cling to the past. We think it defines us. All those things that were challenges, some of us wear them as if they're badges to be proud of. I survived. I'm not saying it's not admirable that we survive, but I am saying it's not healthy that that's what we keep rolling out as our story. Yeah, we survived. Is that really how you want to spend your entire life? Surviving? Kick that shit from the past out of your mind. Write it out of your story and write a new one. Because you're never going to get to thrive until you're willing to give up on survive. And as long as you're telling stories about all the stuff you went through that you survived, you're not going to get there. Have a funeral for the old you. Have a funeral for the old, whatever it was that you're having such a hard time accepting is no longer the way it was. Mourn, grieve, and then quit referring to how you used to be, how you used to live, and learn how to live your new normal. Because when you kick things out of normal, you're really not allowing yourself to just relax and be this new version that's coming out through all the changes. A new normal. Most of us are treating it like an abnormality, like we're victims once again, like we just have to keep surviving. And I don't know about you, but I'm tired of just surviving. I'm ready to thrive. How about you? Think about it. I can tell you that holding on to the past, where all you did was survive, is not the key.